everybody, welcome back. It's Joy. I am back with a fun slimline card with a tie-dye distress ink background featuring the Good Luck digital stamp set from Joy Clair. This stamp set is fun as it comes with 5 different images and 4 sentiments for an all-around occasion card set. So I started out by printing out my images of the duck and hippo onto smooth cardstock and coloring those with Copics. Now, the reason this stamp set appealed to me was my best friend's a little quirky or quacky at times, and my favorite animal besides a frog is a hippo. I would actually love to have a hippo if that was even legal in my backyard as a pet, but anyhow. So this stamp set just reminded me of the two of us. So I naturally chose the sentiment saying life is better with you because life is better with my best friend. So I started out with the duck and I put a light color wash of yellow using the Y11 Copic in just to get the paper wet and to prime it. And then I came in with my Y19, and you'll see me doing that throughout, and just putting it where I think the shadows would be. So like under the top of the wing, and then where the feathers kind of come in, and then under the t-shirt. And then you'll notice I put some under the eyes too, and that is just so I could build up a cheek. And you'll see that kind of form as I go in and make the face, okay? So then I come in with my Y15 and just blend out those shadows a little bit more. And then from there, again, I start building up the shadow around the beak because I really want that beak to stand out, right? And I'm also forming the cheeks while doing that. And then I eventually go in and I just do a light wash of Y13 over the entire thing. And that's what I like about Copics is that they're translucent, excuse me. So you can just put a light wash over it and you get a great blend. Now I'm coming in with the beak and I put down an entire layer of Y19. And then I came in with my YR09, 07, and 04. And then for the inside of the beak, I wanted it to be dark, but not as dark as the rim. So I put the Y19 in there, and then I did the YR07 and 04 and blended it with the Y19. And you'll see for the tongue, I came in with an R21. And that wasn't quite dark enough for me, so I came in with an R24, and I put a little bit of a shadow in, and then I did the kissing method where I took my R21 and just grabbed a little bit of the R24 in there just to blend that out. And then, of course, I used the R21 to do a cheek, and then I came back with the Y13 and blended the cheek out just to get a better blend. And then I move into the top. I just love this cute little ripple top, but I started out with the B23, and then for my shadows, which would be under the arm, I put some on the left side of his neck, and then a little bit on the sides. So that was with the B29. And then I blended that out with a B26. And again, made sure I made the shadows deeper with that B26, still blending. And then I did the B24, just a quick wash. I'm doing just about the same thing with the little blue strips on the shorts, but I just made them lighter. Now, the shorts are going to be red, and you'll notice that I put down the Y19. If you put down a yellow first, you're going to get a really great glowing effect with this. So that's just a little trick that I have picked up over my experimentation with Copics. And then I went in with my Scary Dark, which would be the R59. I put in my shadows. And then I go in with the R29 and again highlight, blend out the shadow. Go over that with the R24. And I didn't quite love the transition between the R24 and the Y19. So I took my Y19 and kissed it to the R24 marker, tip to tip. And then I blended it out to get that perfect blend on that top part of the shorts. I think that turned out really well. And then I used the exact same color blends for his feet as I did the beak. The Y19, YR09, 07, and 04. So you'll see up on the screen, I am reminding you to like this video if you like it. I would appreciate it. It would just make YouTube see my stuff more and let other people see what I have to share. Now, I left out the coloring of the gray part of the hippo, and that was just because it's an easy blend of a C5, C3, C1, and I just did that in a gradient with a simple blend. And then I go back in and do the clothes almost exactly the same as the duck. I did the stripes, blue and red, and then I did the shorts in the same blues. That's what the shirt was. Then I went in with a white gel pen to do some highlights. I just think that adds bounces of light and adds interest to the images. It's just something that I love doing. And then the other thing is I put 2 little dots on each side of their pupils to make their eyes bright and sparkling. And that really makes a difference when you do eyes. I know that these characters aren't realistic, but every once in a while I do try to do a little bit of realism. Now I'm coming in with my background, and I am using watercolor paper. You could use Bristol if you prefer, anything that you want, but I was doing a very wet background because, like I said, I'm doing a faux tie-dye. And the reason I used the tie-dye method is because the stamp set is called Good Luck. And you know as well as I do, when you tie-dye, you never know what you're going to get, so luck of the draw. So I thought it went perfect. I chose the primary colors that were in my characters using Distess Inks in the colors of Festive Berries, Mustard Seed, and Prize Ribbon. And I put down a heavy wash of color, but I did it rough because I didn't care about the blend. Ultimately I care about the blend, but it's not the blending that I am physically doing that's going to make the difference here. And I think you're going to see that in just a second. But again, a heavy amount of color, so that when I go in with the water, I get fantastic results. So you're going to see that I come in with a distress sprayer, and I let the water and the watercolor paper do its own thing. And then once I like the tie-dye look, the drips, the spots, I hit it with my heat gun to get just that awesome blend and to freeze it right where it is. And I liked it so much that I didn't go back in and do any more inking because I thought it was absolutely perfect. I'd love to know what you think of this blend. I'm really thrilled. And if you notice that by using 3 colors, I did get the entire rainbow. Now I am coming in with the tribal stitched rectangle mini slimline dies. Those are available in the Joy Clair store. However, they are made by Gina Marie Designs. And I also used the Whimsy Quick Strips dies to cut out the sentiment for my card. And then I'm popping that up with foam tape just because I like dimension. And I also find that foam tape makes anything that's been watercolored or saturated lay flatter. You could also use fun foam. I have foam tape available right next to my desk, so that's what I used. But you do whatever makes you happy. And I am putting that on a mini slimline card base using 120-pound cardstock. I believe that's opaque, accent opaque. And you see me fiddling with my layout. And then I thought I would be really sly and just slick some glue under each side And of course, that doesn't work. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. So I end up picking it up, putting the correct amount of glue on it, putting it down, straightening it up, and it turned out perfect. Now you'll notice that this is a fishtail banner, and that shape really didn't matter because my characters are going to cover it up. But I think it is hysterical the way that this duck is just running towards its hippo. I mean, could you ask for a funnier or cuter card to send to your best friend? Now, in my fussy cutting skill set, I cut off the tip of the hippo's tail. Thankfully, I found it. So I grabbed a little piece of foam tape, I mean tiny, and I popped it up, and I actually think the tail being popped up is even cuter than it would have been otherwise. So again, if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing to my channel, I would absolutely appreciate it. All comments are welcome, and I will get back to you. And from here, I just use some Enamel Dots. Again, you can find those in the Joy Clair store or at the Gina Marie Designs store. And I will link to both. And that pretty much kind of sums up my card. I think that the dots just were a fun element, but you can't take away from the love that these two characters have for one another. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. And I will be back tomorrow with another video, and I hope that you'll come back to visit us. Thanks, and have a good one. Until next time, keep crafting.